So I have been obsessed with crocheting. Don't know if you've watched my get ready with me, but I did say I stepped away from work for around 6 months. So this is something that I've been occupying a lot of my time with, and I thought I would share with you kind of how I got into crocheting and the like, and then also show you guys some of the stuff that I've made. So if you're just here for what I've crocheted, I will leave a time frame down below for you to just skip ahead, but I do want to kind of contextualize how I got into crochet and how fun it is. A friend's mom was really into crocheting and had offered to teach us how to crochet, so we went over to her place and we started learning. But for some reason, because I couldn't really understand what was going on, and because she kind of did it from a distance and facing away, so I wasn't like looking at her hands like this from this angle, so I was just very confused and I didn't even know if what I was doing was correct, honestly. So I decided to go back home and to order a bunch of hooks and some yarn for me to just try out, and I actually went to watch a bunch of YouTube videos, so I can probably link the one that helped me the most, and from there the rest is history, because once you learn a few of the basic stitches, you can kind of make whatever you want. I found that the most helpful way was to follow tutorials on specific projects. Then you know like how to work something up, and then you can learn on the go. So that said, a lot of these I actually learned by following tutorials on YouTube, and I will try to find all of the tutorials and list them down below. So let's get started. I do have to say, the thing about crochet and the thing about a lot of different kind of crafts is that the first few ones, and honestly not all of them, even when you're more experienced, they're never gonna be perfect. The thing that I have learned to appreciate and enjoy about crochet is that the mistakes kind of make it human, and it actually helps with getting rid of my sense of perfectionism. But that said, I do frog or like rip out a lot of my projects and start again. It's easier to just go back and do it, and I am patient enough to know that the next time I do it, it's gonna get better. So a lot of these projects, right, I have to say, have been frogged. They say frogged because it sounds like ribbit, and ribbit sounds like rip it, so rip it, ribbit. So anyway, these are all of the things that I have made since I started in early November. So this is the first thing that I made. It is a very well loved and very well used bag. It's a sling bag, and this was actually created with cotton yarn. So the people who know all this like crochet jargon, just be a little patient with me, okay? DK weight is like a weight 3. I would say this is the most common weight or like the thickness of yarn that is used, and this is a milk cotton yarn. It's very affordable, it's very comfortable, very breathable, and you can find it in a lot of places. So I found my yarn primarily on Shopee, and then now I go to this place called Mimo's Art House. So I followed a tutorial online, I worked it in a round, and then I stitched it up this way. It's all two-tone because I doubled up my yarn. So I used a little bit under 4 cakes of yarn. Now that I've worn it a little bit more, it has stretched quite a fair bit. So even as a sling bag, you'll see in my try on that it's a little bit on the lower side, but I love it because it's actually very, very versatile and it holds a really good amount of stuff. I have made a few more bags in different color schemes, so I'll show you later. But this is the second bag that I made. Now this one, I am showing this to you guys now, but it's gonna get frogged. Ribbit, it's just a little bit awkward. So initially I wanted to make a laptop sleeve for my partner, and I thought that this color scheme would be really, really fun. I basically crocheted a really long panel, so I started from here and then I worked like a scarf all the way down, and then I stitched up the 2 sides here. I didn't follow a pattern, this was completely my own. I realized after a while that it's definitely a little bit loose, and so I was like, okay lah, let me make like a tote bag or something. So then after that I added these straps, and I really like the color and I really like the way that it turned out, like this pattern. I think it's quite cute. But then have to say, when you're doing bags with a cotton yarn, it does tend to stretch and it's not super sturdy because of the way that it's shaped. It tends to sag quite a lot. This strap, it's a little bit like not here, not there. You know, it's like too short to be a sling, but then it's a little bit too long to have it like around your shoulder. And the body is still a little bit too narrow for other stuff, and it's a bit long. As much as my partner likes it and thinks it's really cute, I don't think she gets much use out of it, especially because it's just not the most convenient to wear. So I'm gonna remake this and hopefully do a better job and perfect the dimensions a little bit more for this. Alright, this is my next project. So again, this is a tutorial online on YouTube that I found, and I really loved it. I thought I would challenge myself by doing checkers because I was like, I don't know what the hell checkers are. Like, I don't know how to do it. I followed the tutorial and I'm pretty sure I've had to frog this one quite a few times because you do have to count your rows pretty well and make sure that everything is okay. But I really like the way that it turned out, and this is actually one of my most used bags other than the first one. I love the colors that I picked, and again, this is the same type of yarn that I've used for these other projects as well. It's this like milk cotton yarn. So yeah, I really like it. Super cute! I then also made some sunglass cases. So these are really great as pencil cases or glasses holders, and I really like this yarn because I thought it was very gay and very colorful, and it's actually a thicker yarn. If this is 4-ply, I would say this is kind of like 8-ply. It's really nice, and I ended up doing a new type of stitching as well. I learned it from another tutorial on YouTube, and I bought buttons solely to finish it off like this as well, so I really like it. Ooh, wait a second, wait a second. Okay, I decided not to be lazy and bring the other sunglass case that I've been using, and you can see the stitches a lot better here, and it probably pays off to do something a little bit sturdier because now then with my glasses inside, you see it's a little bit more lopsided, but very convenient and easy to carry, and I got a smaller little button for it. It's very cute. So yeah, highly recommend this project if you've never tried crocheting before and you just want something fun, something easy and doable. I decided to make some tops for myself. So I found this tutorial on how to do this like strappy backless crop top by Erin Reiko on YouTube, and funny enough, we're friends now, and she's so sweet, and this was a really cool pattern to try and work up. So at first, right, I have to say, I thought I knew exactly what I was doing. Anyway, I didn't follow the instructions. I doubled it thinking that it would suit me better, and it was way too big and I had to frog everything and try it again. So this was the result of me basically trying it 2 or 3 times over. And I have to say, it still isn't perfect. I love the yarn. These are like the colors of the pansexual flag, so I thought it was really fun. And it's also very bright and quirky, and it works up really well in a half double crochet. So this is a half double crochet. I love it. The straps are really cute. I think it's a very simple and doable top. Unfortunately, I think I still made it a little bit too big. It's supposed to be free size, but because of the way it extends at the back, once you loop everything up, this is like the minimum width of your waist, and I think it's still a little bit big, so it kind of hangs a little bit loose. I think I would prefer for the lace-up details to be more pronounced, and so I think I might actually sell this because I couldn't get over it. I had to make a new one. So I used the pattern as a guide and I did my own measurements. Big, I don't know if you noticed, but the way that I laced it up, I had to lace it up from the back to get it to stay on. But for this one, because it fit me quite well, I wanted to see how it would look like strapped in without crossing it. And it just dangles on the outside of your shoulders and it looks really sexy and nice. And I love that I was able to make myself a new top. Like, that was really cool. So I decided to make a bunch more in different colors. I decided to use another type of variegated yarn. Variegated meaning that, you know, it changes color. It's not just one solid color, to make yet another top. And I love this top. I love it so much. It definitely gives a very different vibe. And that's also why I enjoy like redoing the same pattern, because it's satisfying because I'm confident and I know how to do it. And then at the same time, I get like different colorways, and this gives like a very soft like safari femme kind of vibe, you know? I love it. And then at the back, it looks like this. It just laces up. And it is really cute and really wonderful and super comfy as well, because again, this is all cotton. And then after that, I got really carried away and I really wanted to make a solid colored version of this top. So I used one single ball of yarn to create this, and then I kind of ran out and I can't really find the same exact color because this is a really cool tone brown, which I thought was quite cool. I'm not doing a great job here, but you'll see in a try on that I decided to lace everything up with like a light contrast trim instead, and I love how this turned out. I wish I had a little bit more of this colored yarn to just add on to the bottom because it is a little bit short, like it's a bit like not here, not there. Again, you know, it's like an uncomfortably weird, like too long to be a bra, too short to be a top kind of length. But I still really like this top, and I've already worn it out, and it's really, really cute. Oh, I also wore it in my New York haul video, so if you want to see it in action, you can click right here. I'll link it. But yeah, I love it. It's super, super cute. I wanted to try a different style of top. So this is a more booby version of a lace-up top. This involves learning how to crochet bra cups. And so I wanted to do a nice neutral one. And funny story, I initially started out the complete opposite way. And then when I was crocheting, so this is why I crocheted first, I realized that it kind of looked like nipples. And then I was like, I don't know if I want to like rock it like that. So instead of continuing and finishing off as a top, I decided to just string it up as is. I do think it's quite cheeky and quite fun, and maybe it can be pole wear, I don't know. After making this, I was like, alright, I've learned my lesson. Gotta start with the light colors inside first, so it doesn't look as crazy. So this is the top, and this is how it turned out. It is beautiful. I absolutely love this pattern. It definitely took significantly more time than the first kind of like backless crop top, because you have to change the color of your yarn, especially down here, because these are all like one row each. But it was really, really enjoyable, and I really enjoyed making this top. After I started making a couple of projects, I started running out of yarns for specific colors, and then I went on this like crazy spree. Like, I don't know if you saw it on Instagram, but I went on this insane spree and I bought like $300 worth of yarn. Why did I do that? I don't know. Each ball is like less than $2, you know. And so now I have like maybe 6 fabric storage boxes full of yarn. So anyway, I had a fun time yarn shopping, and then I decided on this color combi, which I'm super excited about. This is my favorite. It has this cream, this really nice muted green, periwinkle, soft baby blue kind of color, a brown, and then I added like another trim. I could not have done a better job, honestly. Proud of myself. This is very, very, very cute. And the only thing is with this top is that it's a little booby. So I would recommend you guys, if you're doing this and you don't want it to open, I mean, you can't tell from me wearing this top, but I don't like my things to be too booby. Unfortunately, with these bra cups, they just tend to open up. So I'll try to sew these together or create a little stitch and make them sit a little bit closer in. I love this top so much. I actually cannot wait to make more. They're so fun. Finally, I also used a different type of variegated yarn, and this was actually a bit of an experiment because I don't know if you can see, but it's quite thin, this yarn, and it's quite holey. But I just wanted to test it and see if it still works. It's not actually see-through, even though it's quite airy and nice. I really like it because when the yarn is thinner, it sits and hugs your body even better than like a chunkier yarn would. So this is how the bag looks like. Super cute. Love it. Big fan. Oh, okay, I almost forgot about this, but now that I'm thinking about it, I think I started crocheting in the start of October instead of November because I did this for Halloween. It's a fun little story time. So initially my partner and I had no plans to celebrate Halloween. There was gonna be a party, but we were like, eh. But I actually had ordered a pair of Patrick Star pants because I do pole dancing and I wear these black leather heels that Patrick Star also wears in the SpongeBob SquarePants movie. And it's become a meme, and a lot of people send me that all the time, and they were like, this is what you should be for Halloween. So I thought it would be funny to surprise my partner by wearing that. So I got into like a costume, and then I wore the pants, and then I surprised my partner, and she was really tickled by it. And she was like, you're already dressed up, and like, you know, it is Halloween, like let's go to that party then. And I was like, okay, fine. Like, I was like, okay. And then we were like, oh no, but what are you gonna wear? Because obviously she had nothing prepared, and I was like, I don't know. So in a stroke of like good luck and coincidence, she was like, I have been SpongeBob before. And I was like, oh shit, I'm Patrick Star. It was easy to find a costume for because it's just a button down, some brown shorts. The only thing that we were missing was a red tie. And then we were like, shit, where should we go to get a red tie now? And she's not typically a fan of buying things to use it and wear it just once. So we were like trying to think of a way, and I was like, you know what? Maybe I can try to crochet it. never crocheted a tie before. There wasn't a tutorial for exactly what I needed, but I was just like, it's just a long strip of cloth, right? It's just kind of like a scarf. Like, how difficult can it be? So literally over dinner, while hanging out with my best friend and my partner, I made this tie. Okay, honestly, the only thing about it is I didn't know how to do like a pointed tip. So I made it a little bit longer and she just kind of like tucked it in. But she looked super freaking cute and we matched perfectly. When I was first making this, I fully expected me to just rip it out and reuse the yarn after. But then I didn't realize I would do such a good job. Frankly, this is pretty good. So we decided to keep it and now she just has like a really cute, fun red tie that she can use and it's a fun memory for both of us. So this is definitely one of my favorite things that I've made as well. I also made another bikini like this. It's a really fun, like, kinky, multicolored yarn. They're not really that water friendly, so I wouldn't go swim in these, but they're really nice to like tan in and lounge in. And they're quite festive, so I made these like in December, like near Christmas, just for the lols. And then I was gonna be going to Japan, so I wanted to make myself a couple of beanies that I'll be comfortable in. And beanies are really, really fun to make. So this is a super easy project and it doesn't take up much yarn. I think this was maybe two balls and it was super easy. It was a fun like knit looking pattern and this was quite thick, so I wanted to make one that was a little bit more light and fashionable, and I decided to just kind of do my own thing and switch up the yarn whenever I wanted to. And this is also one of my favorite pieces. So this is a little bit of variegated yarn. This is beige. I have like a darker beige, a brown, and then a green. So I used a bunch of my scrap yarn and I used a little bit of the new ones and I just made myself this little beanie that I really love. And if you check out my Japan vlog episode 2, when I explore Shirakawago, you would see me wearing this quite a lot. So alright, my last two projects, I actually went back to making this pattern again. I've got so many more patterns to try and so many more projects to do, but I really enjoyed this bag because I got a lot of use out of it. And this was around the time where I realized the strap is stretching a little bit too much, especially when things get heavy. So I ended up making myself a couple more bags. This one I decided to do a solid color. So this is 2 strands of the same green color and then 2 strands of the light beige. And this is something that works really well in my wardrobe, as you can tell. And I made the strap a little bit thinner compared to this because this one tends to curl up, and made the straps themselves a little bit shorter. So this is how they look. I still feel like I could go shorter. And then I got cocky and I was like, I want to make the same type of bag, but I want to make it a little bit bigger. And so I made it wider, and then I also gave it slightly like thicker, chunkier straps that worked its way in a little bit more. So I don't know if you can tell, but the shape of this is definitely a little bit different. Looking at this now, I feel like it's not very proportionate. Do you know what I mean? Like, I shouldn't have messed with the pattern, I feel. It was a fun experiment, but I think the pattern was that dimension for a reason, and I think just this, not quite it. I like the color, but I think I might frog it and just redo it again. And that's all. I've crocheted. There's really quite a lot of joy in just creating your own products, and I feel like it's quite sustainable. When I do this, it's quite meditative and it's quite therapeutic, and make everything bespoke basically. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed that. If you're interested in seeing more crochet content, please let me know. I can't wait to share more. It's all consuming now. I absolutely love it. You can also find me on Instagram and TikTok. Comment down below, like the video, and also hit the subscribe button. And I will see you guys next week. Bye!